Good morning, pupils, and I hope you are safe and you are sanitizing, you're staying safe at home. Now, welcome to today's lesson, that is class 7. And in our today's lesson, we will be discussing ways of controlling water pollution. But before we go to this, I want us to remind ourselves on what we said in our other lesson. That is the effects of water pollution. Now, some of the effects of water pollution that we mentioned, we are like one, transmission of waterborne diseases, we mentioned some of them like that. 2, we talked of destruction of marine life, or maybe you can say aquatic life. There is plants and animals that are found in water. Another effect we talked of, water pollution affects the health of animals when they drink this contaminated water. We also discussed or mentioned something like destruction of plants, which will lead to reduced crop production. Now, coming back to our today's lesson, now that we know water pollution is not good, it's very dangerous, it can maybe destroy plants, animals, can lead to waterborne diseases and others, we need to know how to control this water pollution. And these are some of the ways of controlling water pollution. Number 1, we have practicing proper farming methods such as terracing to reduce the amount of soil carried to the water bodies or the water sources during floods. Now, we said one of the water pollutants is soil particles. And we know that during floods, a lot of soil is carried to water sources, and to reduce that one, farmers are advised to practice farming methods that reduce the amount of soil that is carried to water sources. And some of these methods, or one of them, is terracing. Terracing is one of the ways of controlling water pollution. Among other ways of controlling water pollution, as you discussed in class 6. So that is our way, number 1, practicing farming methods that reduce the amount of soil carried to water sources during floods. Number 2, we have treating industrial wastes, that is effluents, before they are released to water bodies. We talked of effluents. And we said that this is liquid waste. Liquid wastes from factories. Liquid waste from factories, which has the chemicals from the factories. It is a water pollutant. Now, these effluents, they need to be treated either by use of chemicals or treated in a sewage treatment plants, such that they are made to be less harmful before they are released to the water sources or the water bodies. So, treating industrial wastes before they are released to water bodies is one of the main ways of controlling water pollution. And I repeat again that wastes or these effluents should be treated before they are released to the water sources. And the treatment can be done by use of either chemicals or it may be done in a sewage treatment plant. Number 3, we have watering animals away from water sources. In our discussion, in our previous discussion, we said that animal wastes is one of the water pollutants. Animal wastes is one of the water pollutants. And we said that when animals are taken to water sources to take water from there, maybe in rivers or maybe in dams, swamps and all of that, as the animal takes the water, it may pass its waste into that water. That is the dung, the urine and all of that. So these animals, if they are not taken to the water source, it means their waste will not find its way to that water source. So it is advisable to draw the water. You fetch the water from the river, for example, and take to your animals to take it from the water troughs, instead of taking these animals to the water source to take the water from there. That is to avoid their wastes from contaminating that water. Number 4, we have practicing proper hygiene and sanitation. Sanitation, if you can remember, we say is that those practices that we do in order to ensure that our environment is clean. And sanitation is a wide area. It may involve things like proper disposal of garbage, proper disposal of human waste, for example, use of toilets and latrines, and anything else that ensures that our environment is clean. For example, if in a society people don't use, let's say, toilets and latrines and they help themselves in the bushes, when it rains, this human waste is carried to the water sources by the service runoff. But now, if we practice proper sanitation, that is by use of toilets and latrines, it means the human waste is properly disposed and it will not find its way to the water sources. Hence, we will have controlled water pollution in one way or the other. Proper hygiene is also very close to sanitation, and it will help in the control of water pollution. Number 5, although it's very closely related to point number 4, but we have proper disposal of human wastes. Human wastes is, we say, is another water pollutant. Human wastes, that is the stool and the urine. In the stool and the urine. Stool and urine. Now, human wastes from homes needs to be properly disposed by use of latrines or toilets. We know that the toilets, that is the ones with the flush, you use the water to wash away the wastes. Now, these wastes needs to be like either directed to where we call the septic tank. And what is a septic tank? You can find out the map. Septic tanks. Now, these are deep holes. These are holes that are done on the ground. Let's say in the compound, for example, in a school, we have so many of them, in which the sewage, the domestic waste, the sewage from bathtubs and toilets is directed to these tanks, so it is stored there. Instead of it being washed to the environment or to the water sources, it can be stored in what we call septic tanks. So proper disposal of human wastes is one of the main ways of controlling water pollution. And how can we dispose the human waste? We have said either in latrines, in toilets, or in septic tanks. The septic tanks are connected to the toilets, so we cannot use them by themselves. No, we are connected with toilets, so that the waste from the toilets is washed to the septic tanks for proper disposal. Then number 6, we have controlled use of farm chemicals. Pollutants, another pollutant of water pollution, we said they are farm chemicals. Farm chemicals. We have several of them. E.g., we said fertilizers. We talked of fertilizers. We talked of herbicides. We talked of herbicides. We have others like insecticides and pesticides. Let's talk of pesticides. Etc. Now these are farm chemicals. They are good because as farmers, they use them. They are good chemicals. But now we say that if these chemicals are used excessively, then they will end up polluting the environment. Water being part of this environment. Now, for example, fertilizers. If fertilizers are used excessively and it rains, the excess fertilizers are washed to the water bodies or the water sources. And in the water sources, it means that water is polluted and the plants and animals in that water will